So, you are on an emotional high. You have just had a session with your coach, or a positive interaction with a client, or something has happened that has made you become electric and really believe and get excited about your business vision. It feels so doable and you cannot wait to get to your goal. And then it hits that wall. What I call having a huge, big black cloud hanging over you. And no matter what you do, no matter what direction you turn, you can't escape this cloud. Well, what happens when we do that is that our vision starts to become impossible, improbable. We start to feel anxiety. We start to doubt ourselves and our capabilities and whether or not we can actually get there. We start to question whether or not we really have what it takes to see this through. And our first instinct, based on this fear, is run away, sabotage, stop, play safe, hide under a rock. Now, what you have to really know about this huge roller coaster, you're high and then you're low. We develop an addiction to our emotions. So whatever emotions that you've been predominantly feeling, you develop an addiction to. Let's say that your chronic state of being, your recurring emotion is fear and anxiety. Well, what's happening in your brain when that happens is that you feel that emotion and you feel that fear and that anxiety, and your hypothalamus starts to secrete the chemical that corresponds to that emotion, because for every emotion, for every main emotion that we experience, there is a corresponding chemical that is secreted in the brain. And then that chemical then travels through our bloodstream onto our cells. Now, we have these things called receptor cells, and without getting too, scientific here on you, what happens is that that chemical latches on to those receptor cells, and then over time, those cells become used to that chemical. They develop an addiction to that chemical. So just as we have a chemical that corresponds to fear and anxiety, we also have chemicals that correspond to happiness and excitement and elation and all of those good feelings, or, well, I'm not going to label it good feelings. No feelings are good or bad, but those are the ones that make us feel good. So immediately you're going to develop that addiction. And just as you develop an addiction to whatever chronic emotion you've been feeling now, you can develop that addiction to the opposite emotion. So what do you want to feel? Do you want to feel empowered? Do you want to feel excited? Do you want to feel happy and joyful and fulfilled? You can also develop that biochemical addiction to that emotion. So what happens when we're addicted to those emotions is that we create instances and experiences that facilitate us experiencing that emotion, right? And we create that sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously. Sometimes it seems like we didn't create it, but it happened to us, right? So we have a difficult encounter, or we butt heads with someone, whatever the situation is. Now, with that said, and now that we're aware, okay, I can develop this emotion. So in this journey, I get it. I'm right there with you. I'm in the trenches with you. There's times when I feel freaking unstoppable. There's times when I am embodying fearlessly fabulous. And then there's times when I'm not. There's times when I doubt. There's times when I fear. There's times when I am afraid of the rejection, the criticism, and all of that stuff that you're dealing with. And what I have to remind myself in those times, and what I want you to remind yourself, is that that's nothing more than conditioning. It's nothing more than that addiction that can break the cycle. I don't have to take that as truth. I don't have to take that as reality. It's simply that that's how I've been playing up until this point. So that's my comfort zone. That's my set point. And the more that I started to break through that and challenge that and become aware in the moment, the more that I started to implement and initiate that healthy addiction to the positive emotions, so that over time it was easier for me to let go of that unwanted emotion. So here's where I'm going to walk you through a little exercise right now. I want you to put yourself a year from now, 12 months from now. Where do you want to be in your business? Where do you want to be? So whatever that looks like for you, maybe it's making $4,000 a month from your business. Maybe it's leaving your day job because your business has taken off to the point where you can live off of it and pay your bills and give 100% to this passion. Whatever that is, put yourself in that moment. Now, I want you to close your eyes. Sit down, relax, close your eyes, and really put yourself in that space. Flash forward 12 months from now. Now, as a result of your business being at this point, who have you become? How have you evolved? So, think about the predominant emotions that this future you feels every day. Is it excitement? Is it pride? Is it freedom? Is it happiness? Satisfaction? Now I want you to really think about what does that mean for me? Who is she being, right? So many times in this entrepreneurial journey, we're so worried about the doing, the action, and gotta do this and gotta do that we forget to pair it up with the being. Now, I'm not saying that taking action isn't important. Of course it is. But it's leveraged and it's maximized when we pair it with being that powerful self. So today, I really want to leave you with that. First of all, acknowledge that you may have developed an addiction to an emotion that you don't want to be feeling anymore. You may have developed an addiction to an emotion that keeps you back, that keeps you playing small. So start to think about how you can flip that around and start developing a healthy addiction to the emotions that you want to predominantly feel. And those emotions that you predominantly want to feel are going to be based on who you want to be and how you're showing up to the world. So I ask you this. Who is the fearlessly fabulous you? How does she show up to the world? How does she show up to her colleagues, her clients, her co-workers, her partner, her friends, her family, to herself? What does it feel like to be you, to be that fearlessly fabulous you? How do you carry yourself? How do you view yourself? What are the choices that you make because of it? Really hone in on that and lead from that point. So that's what I want to leave you with today. Who are you being, and how are you going to show up to the world to say, this is me and I am effing fearlessly fabulous? Hope this helps. Talk to you next week. Bye.